Welcome to Create Your Book Blueprint.
My name is Marja Simon Meinefeld. I am an international best-selling author on Amazon of The One Law for Amazing Abundance in Every Area of Your Life. That's actually my third book.
What we are going to go over is amazing content because it's time.
It is time. The world is waiting for you. The world is waiting for your wisdom. The world is waiting for your experiences. And how do I know this? Because you're here. The fact that you're here means that there's a desire in you to share something important, something that matters. And, however long it's been that this desire has been there, whether it's something new or whether it's been there 6 months, 6 years, or 10 years, or 15 years, it doesn't matter. What matters is what you do today, what you do now. This week, we're going to just go through it because the world, all of the people, they need what you have, and we need it more than ever today. With all of the changes in the world, now is the time for your hope, your wisdom, your experiences, to show people how to get out of their dips and get into whatever successes that they're looking for, that they are looking to you to guide them through. You know what? We're not alone on this earth. One of the reasons that we may have encountered decades or years or months of struggling trying to write our book is because we tried to go it alone. When I looked into the prophets in the split, they took most of it. This was very, very difficult. It was very painful. But even before that, even just getting to the point of having a finished manuscript to go to the publisher with, I spent almost a decade of going back and forth, changing my title, changing my topic, shifting, moving, rewriting. Does this sound familiar to anybody? I bet it does, right? Yes, yeah. And so, I want to save you from experiencing and going through all of that, because after I navigated through that, finally got my manuscript done, and then I got it to the publisher, encountered all of those additional pains because I didn't know how to navigate that. My second book is a holiday ebook, and I decided I'm going to publish this myself and see how it goes. Again, there were a lot of things that I didn't know that I know now. And this is why I'm here to share with you what I know now. By profession, I'm an attorney. And when I was practicing as an attorney, it was difficult for me to listen to all of the stories that were being shared in private and not being able to share that with the world, because I knew the value of the wisdom and the gold and the experiences that were there, and it could really help other people. Fortunately, with Author Writers Academy, this is precisely why I'm here, to help you bring those amazing stories from behind closed doors, so that you can actually help the world, benefit people, make a difference, leave your legacy, and all of those wonderful things, and yes, make some money. Today, we're going to talk about From Terrors to Truth, releasing what's holding you back. How long has it been since you thought, maybe I should write a book? Or how long has it been since somebody told you, you know what, you should put that in a book? Or you know what, you should share that story with the world? One of the things that I've learned is that our stories, our experiences, what we've gone through and overcome, they're no longer for us. We've learned from them. We've benefited from them. Now it's for other people, so that we can shorten their time frame in their life. Who are we not to share that? If we were walking down the street and we used to have on rags and torn up and, looking all kinds of yucky and then, but now we're dressed well and we have our finest clothes and we're looking good and we're feeling good and everything is going well now in our life. And we walk past the river and we hear somebody yelling for help. Help! Help me! Help me! I'm drowning! Help me! And you look over. Would you say, who am I to jump in and save this person? And besides, I have on my nice clothes now. I've gone through this. I'm no longer drowning in the river like that. But no, you wouldn't. You would not hesitate. My hallucination is you would jump in and save that person. If you could swim, you'd be there. And you'd pull them out. Sharing our stories is just like that. We may have been feeling like we were drowning at one point, or experiencing something, or shifting and changing and growing. And now we're on the other side of that challenge. And there are people going, help me, tell me how to do it too. And this is what you're going to do when you're sharing your story. Another one I've heard several times is, I'll do it one day. One day. How many days have we heard that one? One day I will. One day I'll do this. The sad truth is, one day never comes for most people. Over 80% of people say, one day I'll write a book. And they never do. So this is the time right now to shift from one day to day one. And then from day one to it's done. And guess what? Because you're here, because you've downloaded your workbook. If you haven't, go ahead and do that. And here's another one that's kind of connected. It takes years to write a book. This is what I believed with my first book, unfortunately. And it wasn't a conscious belief, but a subconscious belief. You know what I found out? Nobody told me when I was done. I didn't have someone to bounce ideas off of. I didn't have other people to say, you know what, you're ready. I didn't have that confidence to put it out into the world and say, you know what, this is making a difference. This is helping somebody. I don't need to hold on to it for 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. And that was the difference between my first book and my third book, because I didn't go it alone. And I'm so glad that you're here in this group, that you're a part of this group, because in this group you're going to have people this week and beyond encouraging you to go forward, to take that next step, to yes, you've done this, yes, you're ready, yes, 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 done. And this is going to make a world of difference. That's right, Monica, day one to it's done. There's another one. This is a big one. I'm not a good writer. Well, let me tell you something. You don't need to write to be a good writer in order to become a published author. A long time ago, that was the way it had to be before technology. Oh, I'm a rhyme. Look at that. I'm a poet. I didn't even know it. I'm rhyming here. Dr. Seuss would be proud, right? Before technology, people went to school, went to college, spent years learning how to put pen to paper and write just the right prose with just the right words, and to come off at a certain level of education and sophistication. You know what? The world is not looking for that anymore. The world is looking for you to share you. Your authentic voice, your authentic wisdom, your authentic words. The world is not looking for how well you can pen a sentence. The world is looking for your heart, your wisdom, what you have to share. They're looking for results. Bottom line, how can you help me with what you know? That's it. And if I say it on a Harvard graduate level or a 5th grade elementary school level, people don't care as long as you're getting the results, as long as you're being authentic, as long as you're sharing. I have thousands of books here, literally thousands of books here across my wall and going all the way up floor to ceiling. Every single one of them was written with a different voice by a different author in a different style, and yet they're all published. They're all here. They've all been read. They've all gone out into the world. So don't get caught up and get held back by, I don't write, I can't write. And if you just really, really just hate putting pen to paper, and I know a lot of my clients do too, I have a special way that I work with them. I actually sit down and I interview them, and I pull their story out. This is what I used to do in court with my witnesses, and now I use those same skills to help my clients bring their stories out. If you don't like to write, record. Pull out your phone, hit the record button, and start speaking. Start telling your story verbally. And I know you can talk because you've talked to me, you've talked to friends, you've talked to family, you've talked to strangers, you've shared stories, ideas, experiences. And so if you can do that to a person, you can hit record on your phone or on your computer and capture your story that way. It's easy. It's amazing. Use technology. We don't always have to do things the old school way. And if you love to write, awesome. Do that as well. Write it. Oh, here's another good one. Writing a book is hard. Who decided it was going to be hard? And what does that actually mean? Usually when we say that something is hard to do, it's because either we haven't fully defined it, so we don't know what exactly it is, meaning we haven't decided what our outcome is, what we actually want as a result. And so once we decide what the result will be that we really want, then we can break it down into bite-sized pieces. In your workbook, it actually helps you to break down that hard into small, bite-sized, actionable pieces. So we can cross that "it's hard" off of our list. We don't need to focus on getting everything done and everything right from the beginning. We know our outcome. We get clear on the details, and you'll see it in your workbook. And we take it step by step by step. Easy. Let's see. I don't have anything of value. I don't have anything important to say or to share. Are you kidding me? Really? You are amazing. You are valuable. You are interesting. And you have had something happen to you. You know how I know? Because you're alive. Because you're a human being and you're alive. Which means you have had something happen to you. Which means that you have overcome something. Which means you have learned something. You have figured out something. And it doesn't have to be this grand, huge thing. It's one thing. One thing that you've learned, that you've discovered, that you've created, that you know, that you feel. That one thing is going to change lives. Or who am I to do this? I am not good enough. I am not ready. No one would ever buy it. What if no one buys it? All of these are pieces of different ways of saying a similar thing. I am afraid of being seen. I'm afraid of what people will think of me when I share my story, when I share my book. That fear is here in our heads. When we shift out of that fear in our heads and we instead move into our hearts, it's about giving. It's about helping. And there's no fear in that. In our hearts, there's no fear of judgment. That is head speak. That's when our minds are telling us, that little voice that nags us and says, oh, you don't know what you're doing. You're not good enough. Yeah. You want to shut that voice up? It's about shifting. Shift into your heart. Take 3 deep breaths into your heart. And and close your eyes and feel and focus on all of the people that need what you have to say. Focus on the people whose lives will change because they picked up your book. Another one that I look at when people say, I don't have anything to share. You know what? If you are one chapter ahead in the book of life than someone else, you have something to share. Every single one of us knows something that other people don't. Every single one of us can learn something that other people know that we don't know. And so sharing wherever you are will help someone. You only have to be one chapter ahead in order to make a difference. Let's see. Oh, here's another good one. There are already books written on what I want to write about. Wow. I'm glad, Ford and all of those guys, when they were creating cars, didn't say that. Because we'd still all be driving around in the same old car with the same old parts with no innovation. Just because somebody has done it doesn't mean you shouldn't. You know why? Because they haven't done it the way you do it. So what you have to share is amazing, is valuable, and the fact that someone else has spoken on that topic is completely irrelevant. The only thing that helps is knowing that, it's something that somebody else probably wants to know about. That's why there's books on it. And if there aren't books on your topic, wow, how much more do we really need that? I don't have a following. I don't have a famous name. That is okay. Most people that have written their books do not have a huge following, do not have a famous name. But they've made a difference. They've put their books out. They've shared their wisdom. You can start wherever you are. Let me ask you something. Do you know one person? If you know one person that is willing, that wants, or that needs your book, that one person probably knows another person. And that person probably knows another person. Now, this is like old school way of thinking. On social media, if you have one friend on social media, they probably have 100, and those 100 people probably have 500, and those 500 probably have 5,000 followers. You see what I'm getting at here? You don't need to have every single person connected directly to you, and you don't have to go and say, hey, buy my book. This is what I'm doing. Okay, you don't know me. You don't need to do that. Again, people want the results. If you're sharing authentically from your heart, that's a huge, huge win. That's what people are attracted to. Your authenticity, your realness, your story, your experience, your wisdom, the results that they will get from reading your book. And part of that one, let's go a little bit off of that one into selling my knowledge feels sleazy, or, selling this is like my story should be just given as a service. Really? Selling is service. I mean, think about all of the things that you have purchased this year. Somebody had to offer it to you for sale. And why did you buy it? Because you found value in it. And likewise, what you're sharing has value, real value. And it's often what we're bumping up against is not that our books, that we think our books don't have value worth selling, but that we're questioning whether we have value. We're questioning whether we are worthy. And all I can say is yes, you are worthy. You have value. Your stories have value. Your wisdom has value. Your knowledge has value. Your experiences have value. You know, I have some books. My husband asked me, why do you keep these books after you've read them? Because a lot of these books I go back to and I read them again as I grow, as I change, as I shift, as I get new understanding, as I have new life experiences. Suddenly I'm like, oh, that's what that meant. Or, oh, I missed that. I didn't understand that before, but I understand it now. Absolutely. They keep changing our lives. And then when we pick up a new book and we get that nugget of wisdom that shifts us forward, wow. Isn't that incredible? I just love it. What is the opposite of your terrors? Tell us, what are your new truths? Capture that in your workbook, because I want you to take those old terrors, those old stories, write them on a paper, and rip them up and throw them away, because it is over. It is done. And I want you to write the opposite of those, your truths, on a card. And every day, from now until you're holding your book in your hand, read those truths on that card. Because it's shifting, it's shifting, it's shifting, it's changing that mindset, those beliefs. Because 80-90% of what we're doing is psychology. It's our beliefs. It's what we're believing. It's what either holds us back from taking action or propels us into taking action. And so using our truths, we're going to take that action. So if you have any questions for me, if you have anything else you want to share, please post it in the group. Ask your questions. I'm here for you. Congratulations on going from one day I might write a book to day one. Welcome to day one. I'm so honored to be here with you. I look forward to seeing you then. Until then, download your workbook, get your homework done, post in the group. 1-minute video. Tell us, what is your new truth, so that we can own it and celebrate with you. Congratulations, and I will see you tomorrow. Same time, same channel.